Hello and welcome back to Unwinding Minds. If we've not met before, hello, I'm Rosie. I'm a counsellor based in the UK who specialises in working with disability, chronic illness and neurodiversity, and I put together videos on a huge range of mental health topics surrounding these things alongside my work in private practice as a counsellor. These videos are designed to support you and not to take the place of professional counselling or mental health support, so please do bear that in mind as you watch them. Today we're diving into a concept that might completely change how you think about your energy, your well-being and your daily habits. So let's dive in, shall we? Something that I come across all the time as a counsellor, working predominantly with clients who are experiencing illnesses, is this. Most people don't manage energy, instead they just use it. Your day might look something like this: waking up to an alarm, rushing through a morning routine, pushing through the day, numbing yourself out in the evening, and then crashing at the end of the day before repeating the cycle yet again. It doesn't exactly sound appealing when you put it that way, does it? No wonder so many people feel exhausted, irritable, foggy or overwhelmed in those circumstances. But what if I told you your energy works exactly like a bank account? And once you see your life through this financial lens, managing your energy becomes so much clearer and way more accessible and easier. I came up with this way of thinking of your energy quite recently and I wanted to share it. It's possible that somebody else has already thought of this, but let's explore it now. The idea is very simple, but a good way to visualize energy management. So I'd like you to picture the energy as a bank account. Every day you wake up with a certain balance in your account, influenced by your spending and saving habits. Not everyone starts with the same amount, you see. Things like poor sleep, stress, daily habits, hormones, nutrition, even genetics affect the starting energy bank balance. Now, throughout your day, you're making two different kinds of transactions. One, deposits. These are the things that restore you, recharge, or refuel you. So they might include good sleep, nutritious meals, movement, time alone or time with supportive people, fresh air, creativity, joy, laughter, mindfulness, resting, and healthy boundaries. Anything that gives you energy acts like income. It is a deposit into your energy account, and much like a bank account, you could blow your paycheck in one go, or you could let the savings build up, or spend so much that you need to borrow. The other kind of transaction is a withdrawal. These are the things that take your energy. They drain away your energy balance from your account. So that might include work demands or emotional labor, high stress, poor sleep, social media conflicts or conflicts with friends and family, depressing news stories. There's a lot of different things. Running errands or not eating in a way that nourishes your body and gives it energy. So there's a huge, extensive list. I mean, there's people pleasing, there's overthinking. God, I could list all day long the kinds of expenses that might come from your account. And just like in a real bank account, if you consistently withdraw more than you deposit, you end up with an energy deficit. You're still functioning, but you're living on borrowed energy, stealing from tomorrow, using up your reserves, and eventually your body will come collecting. This is when burnout appears, or anxiety spikes, or flare-ups happen, and you can't focus like you used to, for example. And for those managing chronic illnesses, this might be a really common state to be in. It's hard to predict the starting balance of your account every day because deposits and withdrawals might change their value every single day. Some days you might go out for a hike and feel great, and on others, going to the kitchen to get yourself something to eat is going to be too much of a withdrawal on your energy reserves. I see a lot of my clients, the tendency, especially earlier into managing their illness, that they take out more than they deposit into the energy account, which leads to being in debt energetically. On the flip side, when you consistently put in more than you take out, you build up a surplus, your energy savings account. This is a useful thing to remind yourself of, whether you have an illness or not. Taking the time to do restful things means greater emotional resilience, for example, and better stability, better health and energy, the ability to endure tough days with more ease and grace. Let's talk about what it might feel like when you hit that overdraft mode and you're in debt. It can look like exhaustion even after sleeping, or feeling checked out or numb, irritability, snapping at the people you love, fatigue, no motivations or desire, dread about simple tasks, brain fog. My gosh, there's so much. You could have emotional sensitivity or feeling responsible for everybody else. And that list isn't exhaustive, by the way, but it could help you to perhaps recognize if it is happening to you. Now, why do I like this analogy of the energy management that I've come up with so much? Why have I decided to share this? Well, I'll tell you, it's because it takes an emotionally charged topic like energy management, where we might have hang-ups and fears might fester about not doing enough, and it reduces it back down to the facts. Energy management is, at its core, a mathematics problem, not a moral issue. You see, you are not failing if you aren't currently cultivating and saving your energy. If you are overspending, you just haven't figured out budgeting yet. That is a much easier way to address the challenge and be kind to yourself and gentle than, well, the way that I usually see clients looking at the issue. There's that old phrase, you can't fill from an empty cup. And the same principle follows here, that you can't keep withdrawing energy without replacing it. It's just illogical. And what's frustrating to me as a counsellor is that many of us have completely normalised this kind of frantic, anxiety-inducing way of living. We've normalised living below zero, taking on emotional and energetic debts to push through and be tough. We've normalised surviving instead of thriving. The good news is that you have lots of choices about what you do about this. I mean this with great warmth, but unfortunately most people get a little overzealous when they start trying to change stuff. I'm generalising here. It may not apply to you, but most people assume that in order to fix their energy, they need a huge lifestyle overhaul, a complete reset, a vacation, a break from everything. So often when I ask my counselling clients the question of what does resting look like for them, the answer is a holiday, a total break from their lives, because they actually just don't rest in their normal routine. But think about real banking. You don't get out of debt by hoping for a lottery payout. You do it with small and consistent deposits over time, by budgeting and economizing and figuring out how much you need to spend versus how much you want to. And energy works in very much the same way. You don't always have to have huge breaks to rest your brain and body. Sometimes smaller actions have a bigger effect and a return over time, like compound interest. For example, you might find rest through a 3-minute breathing exercise, drinking enough water, going outside for 10 minutes, putting your phone down for 5 minutes, or saying no to somebody today who's asking more of you than you can give, stretching your body or tidying up one area of your house, or listening to music that you love and taking pleasure in things. These are tiny deposits that add up. Each one nudges your energy balance upwards. So if you live your life by this philosophy, your goal becomes much simpler. Spend less than you take in, even by a little. If your energy account is deeply in the red and you have been living in a deficit, you don't necessarily need huge gestures. You need consistency and self-compassion. You might also need to learn a little more about what activities and habits build up your energy savings. So let's contemplate a few simple ways of doing that together. The disadvantage of doing this in a one-way format is that I haven't spoken to you directly. I actually don't know you or the things that specifically build up your energy in the way that I might if this were a two-way format or a counselling session where we could explore that together. But let's try and soldier on with some basic examples. And hey, if you're interested in working with me on it more directly, you can check my profile because you can find information there about working with me on a one-to-one basis there. Okay, the first thing is to try and bring the bank balance back to zero. But to do this, you need the same habits that will eventually give you energy savings in your account. When you stop overdrawing your energy, then the next step is going to be building up the reserves, that extra cushion that gives you stability when life hits a little bit harder. Here's how to build an energy savings account. Know your high yield deposits. These are activities that recharge you more than anything else. Not every deposit is equal, and surprise, surprise, the things that give you a high yield might actually be a withdrawal for somebody else. Take socializing, for example. Some people get energy from that, and some people find that that takes a lot of energy away, and others still will find that it does both, and therefore it may not be a high yield deposit. Some people get energy from movement, others from solitude, others from creativity. Find your top 3 and do them daily, even if it's brief. Track your biggest energy leaks. Just like budgeting, awareness is everything. Identify what drains you fast. Maybe it's overcommitting and working too hard, ruminating, or too much screen time, not sleeping enough. Set spending limits. That might look like not scheduling back-to-back obligations, letting messages from other people wait, taking 5-minute resets during the day, saying let me get back to you instead of instantly agreeing to doing even more, cutting down your work hours. I know this might sound extreme to some people, but for others it's an important consideration. Protect your mornings. This is really important. Your morning energy balance can set the tone for the entire day if you're not careful. Start with deposits and not withdrawals. You can engage in gentle activities or find ways to conserve energy as you prepare for the daily grind. Rest before you're exhausted. I left the most important for last. Think of rest like saving. It's most powerful when you do it before you crash and need the money. If you don't pick times for resting, your body will do it for you. You can choose to be kind to yourself. You can choose to do things that prioritize your current well-being instead of, something in the mystical unknown future. You don't have to keep working on something to the point of being in tears every day or weak or feeling like you just can't take it anymore. You have the choice to rest before exhaustion takes you. You can take some time to figure out how you can stop overspending. I hope that this is a helpful start to the conversation about energy management. Hopefully now you've reminded yourself that energy is not limitless and you're not really supposed to run on empty. The human mind and body are not really built to live in chronic overdraft mode. You deserve to find ways to cultivate the opposite, in fact, a full energy account, a healthy balance, maybe even some savings. When you start viewing your life through the energy bank analogy, everything becomes a bit clearer. What's draining you? What's filling you? What do you actually need in order to thrive? If you made it this far, I want to express my gratitude to you. Thank you for sticking with me. If this analogy resonated with you and made energy management a little bit easier to visualize, please do let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. What are your biggest daily deposits? And what's one withdrawal that you want to reduce in your life? If this episode's helped you at all, please take a second to like it, to subscribe, or to share it with someone else who might need a bit of a crash course in energy management themselves. You never know, you might make a big difference to their life as well. And please check the description if you are interested in working with me on a one-to-one basis around managing your energy in a way that works better for you, as I do also offer private counselling sessions. Thank you so much for watching, and take really good care.